I am good for a while. I'll talk more, laugh more, sleep and eat normally. But then something happens. Like a switch turns off somewhere, and all I'm left with is the darkness of my mind. And each time it seems like I sink deeper and deeper, until one day it was almost too late. I'm gonna tell y'all about my story and my testimony in my faith and what I went through as a child. Born into like a really Christian family, they always taught me, go to church and read the Bible and like everything's gonna be okay, just give all your worries to God. And it seemed easy, that was great when I was younger and like things weren't hard. And as I got older, I had some family that had drug problems and alcohol problems and stuff like that kind of like messed me up. And for some reason in my head, it was easy for Satan or the devil to come into me and say, you're not good enough because they put you in these situations, and you're not good enough because all these things that were like going through my head, like you're not pretty enough, you're not like skinny enough and stuff like that. I started having like really bad thoughts, like depression and everything, and for about a year in my 8th grade, I started cutting because I was crying so much and I would become numb, and the only way for me to feel was to have that sensation.
One session you came with all these bracelets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I knew we were going to have to look under those bracelets eventually that day, and you were so willing, to share that with me.
I knew you were sad. I knew that there was times that you struggled, but I never knew that you struggled that much until you told me.
You were real good about, covering up how you were feeling, and you wanted us to, didn't want us to see you that way, and so you wanted us to think that you were happy and stuff, and so it was really, it's really easy to think that things are okay.
Started out small, like my parents had no idea about it because on the outside I would smile and I was happy like any other little girl. But it started from about here to my hand, and that was it. And I would just say, oh, I fell on the ground, like no big deal. And then it got worse and it escalated from here all the way down to my elbow. And then it wasn't enough. And it wasn't because like I didn't believe in God or I didn't think there was something higher than me. It was just I didn't feel like I was worthy enough of having Him beside me to like pray to Him, because my thoughts weren't good. And so the summer before my 9th grade year, I remember laying in my bed and it had just been a bad day. Depression had gotten the best of me. And I looked up and there's this little hook under my bed, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of this and I'm just gonna end it and I'm just gonna be done. Because to me that was my best logical thinking, which it wasn't. And so I remember walking into my dad's kitchen, picking up a knife, thinking about that, like, okay, I'll just like end it that way. Thought about, drowning and all this other stuff, but then I just came to the realization that I was just gonna get a rope and I was gonna hang myself. And I stood up on my bed and tied the rope, and I remember like I was almost going through with it, and my best friend who moved to Colorado in my 7th grade year had called me. And I was crying and I didn't want to answer her phone. I was like, no, I'm not going to answer her. Like, this is stupid. Why is she calling me? I haven't talked to her in months. And then she called again. And I answered and I said, hello? And she said, Calynn, God told me something's wrong. Like, are you okay? And I remember falling to my knees and just like not even being able to speak, because I knew in that exact moment that God hasn't given up on me. I think that I'm here today to not only share my testimony with you, but to tell you that your life doesn't have to be over. And even in that midst of the darkness and that place where you think that there's no hope for you and that you're completely lost, God's still going to be there for you. And if you don't believe in God, then maybe this is a time of your life where if you're feeling these thoughts and everything, that you turn to Him and see how much that your life can change because of Him. I believe that that's the only reason why I'm here.